Hi guys. Well, today has been a long, hot day. So I'm going to do my lazy day canned tomatoes. And I figured I'd bring you along and let you see how I do it. First thing I did is I put my water bath on to boil. And we'll get on to the next step of these tomatoes. Okay, I've already done up quite a few of my tomatoes, but what I do is I rinse them in water, and then for the aromas I just cut the top off. And then I'll slice them. I normally, when I make my spaghetti sauce and stuff like that, I take the skins off. But today, like I said, it's a lazy day. I'm not going to bother with it. By the time I'm done, you're not even going to know there were skins on them. So I rinse them in water. Then I take out the core of the bigger ones. And any bad spots you see, just cut them off. Just like that. And on the big ones, I also take off this little bottom part right here. Okay, and then I'll quarter them. And as you see, I've got a bowl full. My canner only does 8 quarts at a time. So you're going to want to cut them up into slices, like I'm doing here. Makes it much easier because I'm going to put these in a food processor. Okay, so like I said, it's real easy, just cut them up. Now if you want, on these Romas, you can go ahead and take the core out and set, so you're not wasting so much of the tomato. I'm just not worrying about it today. And I also don't do just one brand of tomatoes. I like to do I plant several different types of tomatoes. And I like to do several different types because I just think it gives it more flavor. Okay, if you get one on your bottom that the thing's real big, go ahead and take it off. That was my bottom and this is my top. And the reason I do several different tomatoes is, one, I do some for sandwiches, some for, sauces and stuff like that. But I found that when I mix my tomatoes in anything, my juices, my tomato sauce, my spaghetti sauce, anything that I make up, it just gives it a little bit more flavor. I really like the combination of the tomatoes. I do the same thing with my pie filling. I mix my apples. I just think it gives it more depth. Especially on the apple pie. Oh my gosh, that makes a big difference. Okay, and texture-wise. Alright, I have these all cut up. I'll set up my food processor and I will bring you back. Okay guys, we're going to move on to the next step. First off, I'm going to make sure I got this on right. I tend not to put it on right. It's on right. Okay, you're going to take your sliced tomatoes. You're going to put a couple in here. Okay, let me state, this is not the proper way to do it. All the books tell you, to blanch them, take the skin off. But this is my way. So before anybody texts or message me, that the book says this or that, I understand that. This is just my lazy way of doing it. Okay, by putting this in here, I'm going to chop it up real fine. Pulsate it. I do 10 to 12 times. And it'll chop it down for you. And a little bit longer. What that does is it'll break up the skins too. So when I make my sauce, you'll never know there were skins in it. And the good things about having skins is a lot of your vitamins and nutrients are in the skins. So this way, I'm not tasting the skins, but I'm still getting nutrition from the skins. There we go. And just pour that in the bowl. The good thing about this is I'm not really seasoning it or anything. So if I want just plain tomato sauce, I can cook it down. If I want spaghetti sauce, I can just add my spices to it and simmer it. So I have a lot of uses out of it. And I can also use it like if I'm making a casserole or something. And I can season for Mexican. It's really handy because the only thing in it is tomatoes. So I can pretty much season it the way I want it for whatever dish I'm making. Okay, I'll bring you back for the next step. Okay, my jars are sterilized. I have 7 because my thing only holds 7. My lids are in water and my rings are right here. Everything's been sterilized, so now I'm just going to fill my jars up, leaving an inch headspace. A lot of people leave a half. I like to leave just a little bit more than that. There we go. Okay. Basically, I just fill mine up till it hits the top of the ring. Right here, where it hits right here, and I stop. And the good thing about doing it this way too is like I'm going to have more than I need for these jars made up. So I can just put in a bowl, put in the refrigerator till I need it. And grab out of here. Okay, and I can tell I got a little bit too much in some of these jars, so I'll be pulling back just a little bit. Taking some out. There we go. Let me get a spoon. And like I said, you can hear my canner going on behind me. There we go. Okay. You know what? I know this is nitpicking, but I like them right up to the ring. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to wash my spoon out. Sorry guys, my batteries went dead on my camera right in the middle of filming. Okay, I've got my lemon juice in here. And then you're going to add half a teaspoon of either canning salt or kosher salt. Don't use table salt. I'm using kosher salt on mine. But it's either canning or kosher. Okay, we got our salt in. Now it's very important that you wipe the rims down really good. And I've heard people using vinegar. I don't use vinegar because I have had too many fails with it. So I just use warm water and a paper towel, and it seems to work great for me. There we go. I really do love these Lazy Day tomatoes though. One, I'm getting a clean towel. One, they're easy to use or easy to make. And two, like I said, there's so many uses for them. And I'm using pint-sized jars. You can do quart size. I just use the pint size because of the fact, you know what? I forgot something you're going to want to do. Make sure you don't have any air bubbles. Take something plastic and stick it down inside to make sure you don't have any air bubbles before you put your lid on. I'm not too worried about this since it is a juice. Well, no, I'm going to take them off just to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry, guys. There you go. Just slide it down. Rewipe your lid. And there we go. Okay, that one I'm done. Do this one. Redo it. I'm not getting any air bubbles out of any of these. That's pretty good. Okay. It's very important that you make sure that your lid's wiped down. Okay, we're going to do the same with this one. Like I said, I'm not getting any air bubbles, so that's good. And if you do, like I said, that putting that plastic piece in will definitely get rid of them for you. Just move it around a little bit and your air bubbles will pop to the top. Okay. Get all this stuff out of my way. Pop these in here. Make sure they're finger tight when you put them in, because the last thing you want is for you get tomato sauce everywhere. Okay, there we go. And for these, it's 35 minutes for pints, 45 minutes for quarts. But if you're 3,000 or up to 6,000, you want to add 10 minutes. We're at 4,000 feet, so I'm going to add 10 minutes. So instead of doing my pints for 35, I'm going to do them for 45. If I was doing quarts, instead of doing them for 45, I would do them for 55. And I'll bring you back when these are done. One quick fact, guys. Sorry. I put more water in than what I need, and then I take it out where I only have like a quarter or an inch and a half above my rings. The reason for that being is, one, it's a lot easier to take the hot water out. It'll come to a boil quicker. And two, I only do an inch and a half above it, 2 at the most, because it will boil over and it makes a big mess. And I really don't want it boiling over. So, like I said, I had this really full of water, took my my large measuring cup, and took it out till I had about an inch and a half above the top of my jars. So I'm going to put the lid on and let it boil. And when I hear it come to a boil, oh man. When I hear it come to a boil, I will start my timer for my 45 minutes. Alright guys, after you get it, you do the timer, you want to let these cool down before you take the lid off. But while they're still warm, you want to shake them up, because what happens is, if you look here, it separates. The oils separate.
The water.
Or the water separates from the tomatoes and stuff. But if you shake it up real good while it's still warm. If it's cold, it doesn't work. But shake it up while it's still warm, then it won't separate again. And if it's separated on you because you forget and you don't shake it, don't worry about it. Just shake it up before you use it. But anyway, these are my Lazy Day tomatoes, and I'll be using these for sauces and stews and stuff. And here's one how they look once they're all shook up and everything. See? Okay. Okay guys, it's the next morning, and as you can see, my tomatoes didn't separate. Just make sure you shake them while they're still warm, and they won't separate on you, and they're ready to go for any recipe you want to use them in. Hope this video helps someone. Bye.